Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I have in previous videos noted that one paraphilia leads to another, and how paraphiliacs who fetishise the women's clothing tend to like to get close to children. The one who had the 70-date tour to read to children as young as 4. Well, there's another one, only he's targeting children as young as 8 months. But he still has this obsession with putting on ladies' clothing and woman face. Why do these paraphiliacs think it's acceptable to do this and then go seeking children? This one complains that he's been called a P. Well, stay away from children then. Anyway, let's look at the article. So here we go. We had one the other day. This is another one. Another drag queen reveals he's been targeted with threats of ending after appearing at a reading event for children as young as 8 months. You know, 8-month-old children not only can't read, but can't really understand a word you're saying. So it's pointless you reading to them. So we have to ask, why are you dressing in the way you do? The fetishized dress that obviously gives you pleasure, I think sexual pleasure. And then you hang around with 8-month-old children. Presumably they won't be able to tell anyone. And you say you're not a nonce. He vows to carry on because it's okay to wear a dress and still be a boy. He calls himself a boy, not a man. He can't call himself a man, can he? So he calls himself a boy because he's trying to take the threat out of what he actually is, which is a danger to children. Matt Cavan, known as Cherry on Top, because they all have to give themselves stupid wanky names, ran a reading event in Belfast on Sunday. Parents Against Grooming held banners which read, "Hands off our children." Oh, parents, they won't take their hands off your children. Not with banners. No, you need more direct approach. You need to make sure that he never goes near a child again. And a little banner isn't going to cut it. The drag queen said he was intimidated and called a P online. Oh, how upsetting. Perhaps he should stop acting like a P. Personally, I'd have called him a P to his face. The Drag Queen Story Hour UK is run by Sab Samuel, another weirdo who likes to fetishise the women's clothing. And he is Ada HD. Again, the wanky name. These sad, sad individuals. So a drag queen who took part in a reading event for children said he has been the target of threats, but the intimidation will not make him quit. That kind of makes him stupid, as well as dangerous to children. Matt Cavan, better known as Cherry on Top, said the backlash he has faced after taking part in a storytime event in Belfast on Sunday has given him even more fire in his belly for events like these. I think he's very brave doing it in Belfast because the threats in Belfast tend to be real. He said he had to get the police involved after he was sent threats and called a P online. Ah, bless. Stop hanging around children then, especially when you're fetishising your perversions, you paraphiliac pervert. But Matt vowed to continue to read to children in drag. Why would children be in drag? Telling Belfast Live he wants Northern Ireland to be a better society where it is accepted that you can wear a dress and still be a boy. He's 33. He's not a boy. He's a grown-ass man who likes getting close to very, very young children on a regular basis whilst wearing the kind of clothes that make him excited. The 33-year-old was taking part in Drag Queen Story Hour UK, which is run by Sab Samuel, who performs as Ada HD and has been the subject of protests in recent weeks because he too likes to get close to children. A group of protesters, organised by Parents Against Grooming, attended Sunday's event and held banners which read, "Leave those kids alone." Northern Ireland Justice Minister Naomi Long showed her support for the Cherry on Top on Twitter, saying people hating on drag queens reading stories to kids have forgotten that pantomime dames have always been men and this was never a problem. That's right, because pantomime dames have always been men on a stage with a gap and with the children with their parents, not locked in a room up close and personal with people they're breathing on them. And if you cannot tell the difference, then you are part of the problem. And you too should be on a register along with these people. Matt said he's received a massive amount of support, but only from the mentally ill. And the negative reaction has only convinced him of how important the event is. Yeah, important to his sex life, because he's going to go home and think of all those children while he busies himself. He said, I want to make Northern Ireland a better society for young people. Well, if people like you pissed off out of it, they'd have a chance. A better society that I grew up in, where I was terrified that I was gay. I was terrified that I maybe wanted to wear a dress and still be a boy. You're not a boy. Stop calling yourself a boy. You've grown up, you sad little man. People think that I was trying to brainwash children. Because you are. I don't really understand that, because for me, being a gay person is not a choice. Everything in life is a choice. And it is nothing that can be forced upon you. The Metropolitan Arts Centre in Belfast, which hosted the event, shared the positive feedback they'd received for the event. One attendee said, Cherry is a wonderful storyteller and teaches an important message in a way that's easy for children to understand. Yeah, the important message being, push an agenda, push a bi agenda, push a trans agenda, and then watch as the children go through the most appalling childhood, ending up in clinics where they hand out drugs like sweeties, and where the self-ending rate is something like 90% higher than or no, not 90% higher, 5 times higher than in the general population, but where 90% of them end up depressed and with major mental problems. And that's what these people are pushing on the children, instead of doing the decent thing, which is just taking themselves away. You can read into that what you will. Anyway, there's a picture of the people saying, you know, please stop grooming our children, you weirdos. And quite right too. Constant vigilance. Parents, you need to ensure your children are never exposed to these perverted, disgusting degenerates. Think about what this man, he calls himself a boy, but think about what this man does. He gets his jollies dressing as a woman, and then when he's in his jolly state, he gets close to children, and they go on tours so they can travel up and down the country, not staying too long in any one place, while they get close to children. And then they don't like it when you call them nonces and peas. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. They need to be on a register. They need to be investigated. Now, anyone who wants to be a drag act, fine. Don't have a problem with that. Stand in a club of an evening and entertain people, adults. But any drag act that wants to go into schools and into libraries and into art centres and get up close and personal with young children, oh, you're not a drag act. No, drag act is your means of delivery, isn't it? Anyway, if you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay away from those drag acts, and goodbye.